From the Red Auerbach Arena in Waltham, Massachusetts, on the campus of Brandeis University, it is Championship Sunday as the Carnegie Mellon Tartans, ranked at the number 4 seed in the UAA 2025 Women's Volleyball Championships, taking on the number 2 seeded Washington University at St. Louis Bears. As we bring you into a great afternoon of collegiate volleyball here on flowcollege.com, FLOcollege.com. As this will be the third meeting between these two titans of the UAA, dating all the way back to the 1999 championship, in which Washington University got the best of Carnegie Mellon, finishing 1 and 2 respectively. And then again, meeting in 2001 when the tournament was hosted by U Chicago. And with that buzzer, pregame festivities are over as we bring it down to the floor with our public address announcer with lineups and the national anthem. The Tartans are ready, the Bears are ready, and we hope you are too. Again, it is Championship Sunday here in Waltham, Massachusetts. One of the most anticipated matchups coming in as Carnegie Mellon, ranked at the number 4 spot in the UAA, coming in and making noise early to find themselves in the championship for the third time against the Washington University Bears. First time since 2016 that the Tartans have made it to the big dance. Washington University building off of strong consistency as they've been able to get into the championship, or at least a bid in taking second place over the past few seasons, as in the previous championship, the Bears dropped a tough one to Emory University, again with the Eagles finishing in the 1 seed. Washington University again facing off against the Eagles in 2022, Emory getting the best of them there. A bit of a break from Washington University being in the championship, but in 2017 they were able to capture the title playing down in North Carolina, as Emory were the hosts. Carnegie Mellon finishing 3rd in that championship. 2016, we had mentioned that the Tartans hadn't been to the big dance since then. Emory University getting the best. As we're immediately underway here in the 2025 UAA Women's Volleyball Championships, and a clean dig, a second attempt, and the deflection gives the opening points to the Bear. Oyewole up along the near side. Set to serve for WashU, Sam Buckley, the senior out of Naperville, Illinois. Plenty of air underneath it. Kate Jiang able to get back and hit it just in time. Catherine Jackson clears it over and collects the point as we're back to an even game. Full expectation of this match to be able to go all the way to 5 sets. Again, 2 Titans in the UAA pulling off major upsets, or at least we've seen that so far in this tournament, with New York University getting the best of Emory early on before dropping in the previous match to secure 3rd place. As an open hand hit comes up from Catherine Jackson as it gets down. Hit over as it was near side, then hit back towards the middle. Right hand as it's saved along that back line. Kept up again, this time by Zoe Gavros. Keeping the hand steady to get it up, Avery Reed. Hammered and continuing the volley, Kate Jiang. Right-handed as making the heads-up play, Avery Reed, as we will continue. Back over the middle, and a diving attempt from Buckley comes up short, as Carnegie Mellon will tie us up again at 2. Two game. After serving and running up quickly there, Bryn Sheeran. Sheeran out of Englewood, Colorado. Deflection. This one over to the Tartans. Again, near side. Plenty of action there in the early goings. Previous kill had been from Juliana McFarland for the Tartans. As again, a ball down in what appeared to be the Bermuda Triangle. Closest in proximity, both Sam Kraus and WashU's libero Ellie Laird. Hard delivery towards the back line. WashU recovers well. Hit and moved over on the far side. Buckley feeds near, and Kraus finishes the job. Going across the hardwood towards the opposite corner. Carnegie Mellon, the away team in this match, up by 1, 4-3, here in set number 1. Running up, ready to go, Eva Bowling. As with the left hand, moved over by Catherine Jackson. Tip and kept up, trying to deposit down. And just coming up short, Naya Ohuanbunwa. As the Tartans get to point number 5 following the sequence. As subs will be checked in. Heading off to the side for Carnegie Mellon was Neha Tumala. Running up, getting good air on the serve, Danny Lee, the setter out of San Francisco, California. Deflected and swatted away by Jackson as this one carries on the outside and misses over the line. Carnegie Mellon starting to put something together now at 6-3. Again, the serve coming from Danny Lee. Over to the opposite side, that is just over the line. Eyeing that corner, Ohuabunwa. And we have our first timeout of the 2025 UAA Women's Volleyball Championships taken by WashU. 7-3 here in Waltham, Massachusetts as we step aside. Welcoming you back to the hardwood. So far, 7-3 our score in favor of the 4-seeded Carnegie Mellon Tartans taking on the Bears of Washington University. So far, it has been all Tartans, as they've been on a 2-point run. Attack error by Abby Cross, as well as an attack error by Naya Ohuabunwa. Sees us at our score, again, of 7-3. And in fact, Carnegie Mellon going on a 3-point run as a kill by Catherine Jackson from Naya Tumala, following an Eva Bowling serve for WashU. This ball sank right on down to the right side of Abby Cross. No chance to make a play, and there wasn't enough time for Avery Reed to step in, maybe one step forward, at least get the hands there. Continuing her streak up at the line with precision, Danny Lee. Deflected, able to keep it up at the very last second is Kate Jiang. Back over the middle, WashU resets to the middle, over to the outside. And when it all is said and done, Ohuabunwa checks out after picking up her kill. Now we move to 8-4. Sam Buckley picking up the assist on that last play. Jiang helping to set up, and a net violation gives point number 5 over to the Bears. Again, great to have you along for the ride this afternoon. The 2025 University Athletic Association Women's Volleyball Championships here on flowcollege.com. To the near side, denied at first, but Jiang helping to recover. As if that ball maybe had been let go, could have been out, but good heads up regardless from Avery Reed. Buckley over to Kraus, and she sneaks it down just below the outstretched arm of Jiang. WashU following their first timeout taken, starting to build up some consistency. Kraus with the serve. Near side, soft delivery over, but Buckley able to help reset. Kraus spikes it, but it's kept alive. Popped up by Carnegie's own libero, Zoe Gavros. But a strong recovery from the Bears as they'll try to find some open real estate, but the push just a bit too far to the left. Marcus down 9-6. As it's popped up near side of the net, recovered easily by Carnegie. Jiang with the left hand, pushes it over near side and was able to deke out the defense, getting too far back. Open spot right on the hardwood above the Brandeis logo on the middle of the floor. Cleared over by Cross, dug out. Advanced over to the far side down as Cross is able to get a hand there, trying to dive and make a play, but only being able to do so much is Avery Reed. Parton give that to Ellie Laird along that back line. Full of heart and hustle to at least get a chance to make a play. But the ricochet just too much over to the chairs that make up the bench for WashU. Buckley and Kraus nearly converge. Kept up and alive by Gavros. To the outside, trying to slide and make the grab, Ellie Laird. Touch with the antenna. Keeps the ball with the Tartans. So far at 9:30 a.m. this morning for the third place match, New York University getting the best of Chicago. Again, NYU, the number 6 seed, with Chicago being at number 1. NYU winning 3-2. Also occurring in the Shapiro Gymnasium on Court A and Court B, the 5th place match between Case Western Reserve and Emory. Case Western getting the best 3-1, winning out. And the 7th place match, Brandeis University sweeping at number 8 Rochester. Again, coming in to take that final spot as subs will be rolling out for Carnegie Mellon. Elizabeth Schlemmer, 1 of 2. Also stepping aside will be Danny Lee. Strong delivery from Carnegie Mellon as it's jaded over to the right side of the Bears. Hit back as it's kept alive from Bella Woodward. Jiang contested at the net. Near side, Oyewole gets rough contact to be shown as Neatumala tried to get the hand up above the ball. Got the backspin instead. A 3-0 sweep again at Brandeis over Rochester. 3-1 Case Western Reserve over Emory, and a 3-2 finish for NYU over U Chicago. As this ball down again for the Tartans. Right at about the gavel spot, right in front of the net. As of November 11th, Chicago finishing at 6-1 in the conference with an overall record of 14-12. Barely getting above 500, but a great response here from WashU. More subs rolling in. 1999 and 2001 were the previous 2 times that the Bears and Tartans squared off in the championship match. It's been quite a while since then. Carnegie Mellon having an appearance again in 2016, just missing the chance. As missing the ball is Sam Buckley after a bad ricochet off the hand of Avery Reed. Back to serve for Carnegie Mellon, Bryn Sheeran, the defensive specialist out of Englewood, Colorado. At the last second, getting the hands down, Ellie Laird. Bad hop will get off the hand of Neatumala. 14-11, both teams breaking into double digits. WashU looking for a substitution, and indeed they'll get one. As trotting off to the side is Eva Bowling. As up to serve, Ella Bartu out of Geneva, Switzerland. And this team certainly has some younger faces on the squadron, as Nia Jones, also a first year out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Abby Cross, a first year as well. Point given to Carnegie. on that back line, Danny Lee. And so far, the match has gone about how you would expect it, especially with two strong contenders. WashU down by 4. Abby Kraus looking to change that. Danny Lee has other plans, though, as she's able to get the right fist down. Abby Kraus almost running it too far into the ball. Is able to hold back long enough. Tartans try to go middle. Get rejected there. As a reach over the top was met. The volley will continue as it's popped up from Gavros. Aiming to go backside and just over the line. Certainly we'll see extended volleys over the course of this afternoon. Now up for WashU will be Isabel Campy. As it's a clean serve over with the right hand, aiming and just missing on that outer line. Looking for truly prime real estate is Kai Herkenrother. WashU continues time up at the line. Set near side, pushed over by Schlemmer. Spiked down and unable to do much except go to a knee. Danny Lee. As WashU has climbed back to within one, 15-14 in the opening set. Another serve over from Campy. We back to Schlemmer, who with full force finds the back corner near side. Getting an ovation out of Tartans Nation. As again, to get here, they had to win out against Case Western Reserve 3-2, full 5 sets taken. But again, a victory for Carnegie Mellon. And then a clean sweep of the University of Chicago as down to the outside, trying to recover the ball. Zoe Gavros. Carnegie Mellon remains up by 1, 16-15. Clean shot over. Schlemmer again, and contact gives the ball back to the Tartans. WashU certainly had an easier time getting here to the championship game, 2 sweeps in a row, with their largest margin of victory being the second set against the 7th seed Brandeis University Judges, 25-13, as it was relatively close against New York University, 25-21 twice, with the opening set finishing at 25-18. Jiang with the right hand. It's dug out by Cross, and it's back over and cleanly. As the delayed reaction from the Tartans sees the ball down near side, as we'll keep on saying that. Good lateral direction. And you can tell that coming out of the timeout, it may have been a good rest for the Bears to take. Carnegie Mellon looking to respond after a hot start. As denied up front, trying to sneak it past in the spot she's always gone to, Elizabeth Schlemmer. But instead, there will be a timeout call, this time by Carnegie Mellon. We're tied at 17 in the opening set. Alongside our great crew here at Brandeis University, the game day staff, my name is Brian Foley. You've been watching this presentation of Division III Collegiate Women's Volleyball on flowcollege.com, the 2025 UAA Championship Playoffs. And we'll be back. Coming back from the timeout, all of a sudden, a hot start from Carnegie Mellon faded away as they're back to an even ball game, 17-all. The serve going to Washington University. Open-handed spat up front. And another ball here with a line drive. Ricocheting hard off the leg of Zoe Gavros. Eva Bowling getting a shot up there. Another serve from Ellie Laird. Tossed over with the right hand, and a diving attempt to be made Coming up short is Isabel Campy. Especially in the later stages of the game, using the timeout effectively can make or break the series. As again, WashU using one timeout so far as the same for Carnegie Mellon, looking to respond after using theirs. Hard deflection over to the judges' table. As another one up for WashU. Stepping off the floor for them, Isabel Campy. Ball turning back over to Sam Buckley. Clean serve towards the outside back corner. And contact over the middle with players trying to block off the far side. Just couldn't get back to the middle. And it's an easy kill for Carnegie Mellon. Popped up. Sam Laird, Avery Laird, saving it. Ellie Laird making a positive impact as WashU's libero so far in this one. As a hard ball, well received, over to the outside, and Ellie Laird could not get the hand away in time. Stepping up and making her presence known, Zoe Gavros, but she will be off to the side. Two liberos potentially being used by Carnegie Mellon as the serve comes up from Schlemmer. Over far side, it's no good. Rather, that individual, Juliana McFarland, a senior out of McLean, Virginia. Kate Jiang couldn't do much more. 21-20. Favor of Carnegie. They've taken the lead back. WashU not looking to go down early in this opening set as they've swept both matches to get here. Misplayed out front. Avery Reed couldn't pull away fast enough or get her hand more under the ball. As Lee will climb in again. 21 all, the kill by Catherine Jackson from Tumala, excuse me. As it's been back and forth since the timeout call by Carnegie Mellon. Is saved on the back line. It is sliced over and finding that real estate, getting the roar of approval, Catherine Jackson. And another timeout called. WashU will have to go to the drawing board again. Back from the timeout as we turn the ball back over to Carnegie Mellon, as it will be Danny Lee up. Near side, could have been a double touch, denied once over on that far side, and trying to reset are the Tartans, as it was Catherine Jackson denied previously. Good recovery to take control of the ball as Zoe Gavros stayed with it, and it pays off. Full of excitement there as she celebrates with Catherine Jackson. Carnegie Mellon ranking 4th in the UAA in terms of sets, at least. Rather, we look a little bit further down to the 3rd spot in terms of hitting percentage. Percent at 219 for the Tartans. Ball down as WashU recovers. They'll get back to within one, 23-20. The ball carries over to the far side. Carnegie Mellon also at number 4 in terms of kills, averaging 12.1. And that was over the course of the regular season. 13 average per set for WashU. Trying to find it and getting it with the contact will be Catherine Jackson. In their matchup against Case Western Reserve, again, they went to all 5 sets. Catherine Jackson led the way with 17 kills on 8 errors to have a .184 kill percentage. A little bit higher from Elizabeth Schlemmer and Bella Woodward, having 13 and 9 kills respectively. And on the outside, WashU tried to paint the outer corner. And as this first set comes to a close, 25-22, your final, again in the opener, for Carnegie Mellon, as the Tartans flexing their offensive muscles early. Certainly going to be an event-filled afternoon as we roll into set number 2. Carnegie Mellon looking to take this third chance against WashU and take the title. As again, coming in, the attack Eric by Abby Kraus sees us rolling into set number 2. And from Waltham, Massachusetts, on the campus of Brandeis University, my name is Brian Foley. As we come back to you, the UAA 2025 Women's Volleyball Championship, Carnegie Mellon Tartans, Washington University Bears. Washington University looking to respond after dropping the first set here in the 2025 UAA Women's Volleyball Championships. As a winner, we'll make it to the NCAA tournament. And Washington University certainly looking for contributions, especially from Sam Buckley, as at the conclusion of the regular season, taking a look at the women's volleyball overall stats and leaders in certain categories with a minimum of 5 assists per set. Sam Buckley ranking at the top, averaging 10, almost 11 assists per set. And as in 99, she had picked up 1,085, and again, leading the conference and representing WashU. Carnegie Mellon seeing strong results in this department as well from Nia Tumala in 106 sets, picking up 783 with an average of 7.39. So both sides looking to pad the stats, at least in assists. Juliana McFarland leading the way in total blocks, averaging at 1.27 per set, 107 on the campaign. Leah Oyewole with a minimum of 2 kills per set, averaging 3.85, again at the conclusion of the regular season. So it's certainly been a mix of WashU and Carnegie Mellon being towards the top of certain stat leaderboards. Just the same in digs with a minimum of 1 per game. Ellie Laird, 99 sets, nearly getting to 500 with 498, averaging just over 5. As the opening point given over to Washington University, looking to right the ship. Open hand will sail well over the line. Buckley couldn't get it to slow down. As up for Carnegie Mellon, Kate Jiang. She'll get a ricochet off the net, but will roll out of bounds as no contest or protest coming from Carnegie Mellon on that. So WashU taking the 2-1 lead. This time a lot closer in. Clean serve from WashU with the right hand, deflected away into the crowd. As a hammer thrown by Bella Woodward. As we're back to an even game. New serve coming from Carnegie Mellon. Abby Kraus reading it and then taking a set off the play she initiated, picking up the kill. WashU jumping ahead again by 1 as they turn the ball over to Ellie Laird. Lofted and not controlled, as it was a sudden mishap coming off the hands of Catherine Jackson. Washington University certainly will take that, as this will ensure they'll keep Laird at the line. Near side over to the corner as this ball is down. A little close, but Again, just catching enough of the floor to remain in play. Avery Reed. Rather send that over to Catherine Jackson, again trying to bolster this offense as she'll take place and hover over the middle, looking over that left side. Lee trying to feed up front, but she just didn't get enough on it. WashU jumping out ahead by 2. It'll be over the middle. Well served from Washington's own side in Isabel Campy. Buckley sets up outside to cross, and she's down. Give her the kill. Blowing it right past Zoe Gavros. And Bach, the head coach of Carnegie Mellon, looking for her first championship. Carnegie Mellon looking to capitalize on being in the championship for 3 separate instances. Again, the closest was 2016, although they dropped that contest to Emory. Ball near side as it's down. Bit of confusion, but point given to WashU. Rather, it's over on the side of Carnegie Mellon, 6-4. They've cut the deficit again down to 2. And she'll go over the middle. Buckley sets up to the outside, and it is just over the back corner. Would have been a solid spot had it been just a few inches shorter. Eva Bowling comes up empty-handed. Jackson from the near side of the line. Wales get it over. Set up by Buckley to cross again. Although it's dug out cleanly this time from Gavros. Hard ball down. As getting there and keeping the hands underneath was Ellie Laird. Distance on that ball. Carries just a bit too far. Elizabeth Schlemmer there. Now reset. Although this time it's down and in for Jiang. Carnegie Mellon tying this game back up at 6. First set being close as 25-22 was your final. But with the service error, WashU gets back ahead 7-6. As this time they'll send away Avery Reed. Kraus takes the serve. Lee over to the near side, aiming. Kraus could have maybe let that ball go. Would have been out of play. Ball popped up, but an easy read coming across for Danny Lee as it's cleanly back over. Kraus sets. Jackson digs it out. Over the middle, kept alive as it was a tough bid from Campy. Contact. We'll see the ball roll all the way back to the wall. But WashU takes the 2-point advantage. Laid over. Dug out cleanly from Gavros. Extension of the right hand by Cross. Able to keep the ball there. Oyewole trying to get it over on Jackson, but she's unable to as it ricocheted off, something hanging on the ceiling. The ball coming down a lot faster than it went up. As a result, 9-6, WashU. We'll see a timeout called this time by Carnegie Mellon. Again, 9-6 here in set number 2. Been back and forth all series long, especially back in the opening set, but here again in set 2, 9-6 as we step aside. Brandeis University would like to thank their partners at Pepsi, as well as the Park Lodge Hotel Group operating the Holiday Inn Express and Courtyard by Marriott, Waltham's only locally owned and independently operated hotels. And Brandeis Athletics would like to thank the Chateau Italian Restaurant and Jake and Joe's Sports Grill for supporting Brandeis student athletes. Visit one of their locations nearby Waltham restaurants after today's game and continue the relationship as both have exceptional food and service. As a hard ball that will just be on the outside. Oyewole tried to go again to the side, but empty-handed. But again, visit one of the Chateau and Jake and Joe's nearby Waltham restaurant locations as they'd like to extend their thanks. Them being the Brandeis University Athletics Department. Service error leads to WashU taking the ball back, 10-7 our score. Leah Oyewole over the middle. As the serve comes up from Eva Bowling. Potentially a misplayed ball. Oyewole denied up front. And a roar of approval for WashU. Despite giving the ball up, as full of emotion on the hit, Juliana McFarland, and she certainly knows, being in her last season with her club, that this game and this series means everything. As WashU all of a sudden only has a 1-point lead, 10-9. So following the timeout taken by Carnegie Mellon seems to be paying off. And certainly in instances like this, the championship nerves can get the best of everyone, including seniors, but especially for the first years who have never been here before. Certainly going to be up to the upperclassmen to calm the nerves and just reassure that, you know what, we don't change anything about our game plan, and that's why we're here, is because we've executed more often than we haven't. Ball up, tipped, as Buckley keeps it alive. Laird to Oyewole. Dug out. And deflected off the hands of Jones. Buckley on the right side will observe the ball get down. Carnegie Mellon tying this one up at 10. Causing Carnegie Mellon to give it up. 11-10, lead back to WashU. As it's cleaned over by Buckley. Set out in front. Jiang looking for real estate as she finds her way down. All set up from Nia Tumala, the setter out of Los Angeles, California, feeding the ball perfectly up into the air. Kate Jiang taking it. Laird digs it. Buckley moves it up to Oyewole. Jiang waiting patiently as lofting this one back over is Bella Woodward. And with the left hand coming off of Naya Ohunabunwa's shot, it'll be down and back to a 1-point lead for the Bears. As up again and taking the serve this time, Avery Reed. As a bit of panic, we'll see everyone reset themselves. Fed up by Tumala. It's back over onto the side of Brandeis. Rather where the gavel would be. As again, Carnegie Mellon trying to defend. That one just a bit too fast over on the near side. Trying to extend the arm and continue the play, Zoe Gavros. (13 to 11 at Washington University. Jiang keeps it up. Tumala with the setup and the finishing move thrown down by McFarland. Gavros steps off. Ball given back over to Bryn Sheeran. 13 to 12 in favor of WashU. This game certainly much closer. And that ball out of play. Carnegie Mellon benefiting as we're back to an even score, 13 all. Sheehan remains up. 3 on the back line for the Bears. Advanced up. Buckley with the set. Kraus gets the deflection and reaching. Jiang keeps it alive. Woodward able to capitalize. The Tartans taking the lead, 14-13. Certainly this game worth the price of admission alone. Huge numbers out to support both clubs, as it isn't just fans for Carnegie Mellon and WashU here, but families all for the other teams, including Case Western Reserve, Emory, New York University, Brandeis, just to name a few, all here to support as WashU will take another timeout, 15-13. Carnegie Mellon taking the lead back, not looking to let it go, as with potential of taking their second straight set. They've already given a loss to WashU, which is their first loss in the tournament. Again, they swept their competition to even make it up here. Again, sweeping both Brandeis and New York University. Again, though, all the families here in full support of the Brandeis judges, New York University, UChicago, Carnegie Mellon, WashU, University of Rochester, Case Western Reserve University, and Emory University. And it's certainly a special part of what makes the UAA distinct from other divisions is just a great sense of unity. And even before this championship game, every senior from all 8 teams honored right in front of their families. And what innovation that they were given, and deservedly so. Again, so much effort gets put into maintaining your athletic abilities while also managing some of the toughest coursework and one of the most challenging academic environments in the UAA. These schools taking academics so seriously. Again, putting the student ahead of student athlete. As it's misdirected by Buckley and will get further back over to the bleacher section. Carnegie Mellon extending their lead by 3. Laird keeps it up. Jones having to just push it along, not getting a lot of velocity there. Woodward denied, but it is kept up at the net. As with the right hand, trying to dive over is Laird. No such luck as Jackson able to make her mark. 17-13 in favor of Carnegie Mellon. Carnegie Mellon also having a tough go of it, at least heading into this championship playoff series. Again, going all 5 sets against Case Western Reserve as it's a nice play on the outside by Woodward. Left hand thrown down as this ball's well out of play, but a nice save from Woodward again will set the table. Buckley near side. And the hand extended up from Jackson as getting onto the board in the kill category, Naya Bunwa. Second game a bit easier for the Tartans as they were able to get the 3-0 sweep over UChicago to find themselves in a solid position as of right now, leading by 3 over WashU. Jackson takes aim. Laird denies it. And then painting the ball down perfectly an equal distance away from everyone in the vicinity. Woodward steps off the court. This ball now back over to Danny Lee. Danny Lee back up to the corner. Having to run back, Buckley will set up Kraus and deflect it away. Painstaking reaction coming up from Elizabeth Schlemmer. WashU certainly getting celebratory. Carnegie Mellon still maintaining a 3-point lead, 18-15. Ball sinking low on the run to get it, Lee. As it's dug out from Campy. Kraus denied at first, is able to reset it. She'll try again, and a hot shot that sneaks up. Ends up clipping Gavros almost on the face. Just a bit too much to handle as the Bears climb back to within 2. As it's put up, and a net violation given over to WashU. As you could see it from here, the Tartans just a bit too close for comfort. Easy read from the officials. As a timeout now called. Carnegie Mellon will take their second. taking a look at other stats across the league. Carnegie Mellon's own Kate Jiang with a minimum of 0.10 service aces per set, able to eclipse 55 with 105 sets, marking her at 0.52 in the average of service aces per set. Grace Nelson of NYU leads the way for the conference, 60 in 87 sets, a mark of 0.69. But also up in this leaderboard, coming from Carnegie Mellon, Nea Tumala in 106 sets, 50 service aces, putting her at a 0.47 average. No representatives from WashU in this category, as it's certainly eye-catching in its own regard. In terms of points, ranking third overall with an average of 3.98, nearly 4, Leah Oyewole. As we're back into play, Gavros sets it. Jackson denied, and the contact puts the ball out of play. Carnegie Mellon getting up to the service line yet again. And it'll be Jackson this time. 19-17 after the kill from Katherine Jackson. With Lee setting it up. Denied up at the net, but a good recovery from Bowling. As Danny Lee puts it over far side as it's picked up. Will toss it over to the outside. Good heads-up play from Bowling. And she knew a large number of Tartans were over near side. Weren't able to get back to their positioning just in time, as the Tartans now only lead by 1. Kraus with the serve, now set up. Schlemmer with the ricochet. It's all set up. Oyewole able to get it down over the extended arm of Gavros. And just like that, WashU comes back to tie this one up at 19, following the timeout taken by Carnegie Mellon. Popped up, Danny Lee goes over the middle as unable to finish the play. WashU, as Jackson gets there. Kraus just couldn't get underneath the ball in time. Gavros cleanly over the middle of the hardwood. Missing on the ball is Bowling, swiping just a bit too early. 21-19, Carnegie Mellon Tartans. Popped up, and Oyewole denied up front. All the excitement in the world for Juliana McFarland, as the last timeout will be taken by WashU. Down by 3, 22-19 here in set number 2. You've been watching the 2025 UAA Women's Volleyball Championships here on flowcollege.com. I'm Brian Foley, alongside the game day staff for Brandeis University, the hosts of this great tournament here in Waltham, Massachusetts. Taking you back to the floor, Brandeis Athletics would like to thank their corporate partner, Phoenix Health Kitchens and Catering. Try Phoenix Health Kitchens for your next individual or group meal. An extended thank you to their good buddies at New York Pie. Visit New York Pie's Waltham Moody Street location or place your order online at newyorkpie.com. That's nypieonline.com to score free delivery. Misplayed by Jackson as it will sail all the way back as WashU gets into the 20-point range. The Tartans looking to hold on to the lead. A close finish in the opening set. Carnegie Mellon looking to make it 2 in a row. As WashU will look to take back the lead and avoid a potential sweep. The one thing that they've been able to do against every team so far. And with plays like that, Carnegie Mellon will make their case to be able to at least get to set number 3 with the potential of a sweep. Woodward back out onto the floor. Certainly a strong ball put down, 23-20, the kill by Juliana McFarland. with a great setup from Danny Lee. Oyewole tries to find it. As swiping at it, but maybe getting a piece of it, but otherwise coming up short. Gavros. 21-23 as Sam Buckley's up at the line. She's able to clear it with plenty of room as it's set over as Woodward couldn't end up getting there in time as the fists were just a bit too high on the hit. As Nia Tumala trying to do what she could. 23-20 now. Buckley will take aim over the middle. It's taken in. Tumala over, and the ball's down on the inner part of the net on the side of WashU. As we've reached the set point. Set to fire the ball away, Kate Jiang. The outside hitter and junior out of Corte Madera, California. A product of Redwood in California. As misplayed up front. Naya Ohuabunwa couldn't get the ball to go further. And at the conclusion of 2 sets, identical score in 25-22. Your final. As now entering set number 3, WashU on the doorstep of being swept after not losing a single game heading into this championship. Carnegie Mellon looking in their 3rd matchup against the Bears. 3rd time's the charm, at least that's the idea, to be able to capture a championship of their own. As we'll step aside, and as you've been watching this presentation of UAA Championship Volleyball, Carnegie Mellon Tartans squaring off against the Washington University Bears, all on flowcollege.com. Both teams set to go in this 3rd set. Carnegie Mellon taking the 2-set advantage over the Washington University Bears out of St. Louis, Missouri. As a reminder, both teams getting 2 timeouts per set to re-strategize or just calm the nerves or whatever the case may be. WashU needing to have some reserve as they're 1 set away from dropping and being swept. As they had done that to both Brandeis, just to name at least one school, along with Emory, or rather New York University at the number 6 seed. They had been playing Emory a bit earlier in the year. As again, that game a bit closer. Emory coming in as the number 1 seed, dropping a game to New York University with one of the bigger upsets of the year, and picking up where they left off, Carnegie Mellon. But again, 3-0 sweep over New York University and Brandeis. As it certainly is never an easy road to get here. Popped up and missing the ball. Sam Buckley after the deflection from Oyewole. As it's a 2-0 run now from Carnegie Mellon. So far, 2-0. The kill coming from Bella Woodward, set up from Nea Tumala. Oyewole takes aim at the back, but comes up short as Gavros able to get a deflection. And WashU narrowly comes away with the point after the ball ricocheted off the antenna. Subs coming on for WashU, as heading over to the side will be Isabel Campy. Sam Buckley over on the right side, serves cleanly. Tumala sets it up for Jiang, and the deflection works to perfection. Carnegie Mellon getting out ahead 3-1. As Jiang will take aim. Buckley sets it up. Oyewole finds it, but diving down and keeping the ball up without any sweat. Now Tumala. Oyewole going back to it and well off the mark. Hitting right off the red Auerbach Arena marking on the hardwood, right in front of the bench of Carnegie Mellon. The Tartans up 4-1. Jiang will take it over the middle. Sending it up. Having to run quickly over is Buckley, and at the last second, it's saved by Cross. Over the middle, deflected, and Cross couldn't get it this time. As Carnegie Mellon up front, now making this a 5-1 game. WashU will take their first of 2 timeouts. What a run from the Tartans. As we'll step aside here on Flow College, I'm Brian Foley. And what a match this has been. (1999) and 2001, the 2 instances where both the Tartans and Bears met in the UAA Volleyball Championships, as the Tartans had dropped both of those games. WashU coming back with a response. Oyewole will be subbed out. So coming back from the timeout, the Bears trying to find their nerves of steel, staring down the face of what could be a sweep. But they will turn the ball back over to Avery Reed, trying to turn a new leaf. Over the middle, denied once, as the Bears come back with 2 straight. A good usage of the timeout coming from WashU. More than likely, just trying to calm nerves, especially considering that, at least in terms of emotion, Carnegie Mellon having that advantage, but not looking to be content. Kraus able to put it on over, but a good serve and rather set on the outside. Now back over to WashU. Buckley sets it, taking aim and digging it out with plenty of room, and saving it at the last second is Bowling. As Cross takes aim, it's dug out again near side the net. It's back over and tipped up by Buckley. Having to loft it back over is Reed. Hammer thrown, but it is kept alive on the back end. Rather, Reed was responsible for it, as the point will be given over to WashU, as they've now come back to within 1. 5-4 in favor of Carnegie Mellon. Hard ball. That is lined right into the net, so a sigh of relief can be breath from Carnegie Mellon. Pair of subs coming off. That being both Zoe Gavros and Juliana McFarland. McFarland having a day so far. As it's thrown up, but could not be saved at the last second, despite getting back somewhat in the nick of time. Nea Tumala. As a kill by Anna Freeman had been set up from Buckley. Anna Freeman also making contributions in the 2 previous matches for the Bears. Kraus takes aim. Ball high up into the air, but comes back enough to be reset. As Buckley takes aim, but an easy dig from Tumala. Deflected off the hand, as Freeman could not get her hand out of the way. 7-5, a 2-point lead maintained by the Tartans. And for those at home who may not necessarily know what a tartan is, a woven fabric pattern of intersecting stripes with various colors and widths that repeat both horizontally and vertically. Originally and rather traditionally made of wool and famously associated with Scotland and the kilts, for example. And so on the logo for Carnegie Mellon appears to be a Scotty type of dog with a tartan scarf over it. Certainly one of the more unique looks there, as points back over to the Tartans. As in terms for the Washington University Bears, I think that one might be a little bit easier to differentiate and to kind of know what that might be. Certainly one of the more aggressive animals found in North America. With the left hand denied once, as Yang keeps it alive over the middle. As Jackson there, and a tip with no net violation. Full extension in getting to jump up from Kate Jiang. 9-6. Carnegie Mellon 1 point away from getting into double digits. Low ball delivered, but could not be handled. As Kraus tried to save it, but ended up having to save herself from running into the ladder for the judge up along the net. Catherine Jackson now up. As it's met over the middle, and the Bears get the ricochet to benefit them. Hand up, delivered, and popped into the air. Over on the outside, hard hit from Jiang, and no chance for that ball to be saved. As it's now back over, but a bit too far over the back line. Carnegie Mellon short-lived stint up at the service line. As it's there, going down to the floor, as Carnegie Mellon will extend the lead. New subs in 12-8 now. As reported back on November 11th of 2023, at the time, number 9 ranked WashU Volleyball falls to Carnegie Mellon. So in fact, these two have met. As it's deflected on the way back, as Cross could only get a hand there. As it's extended the lead, being now by 5, 13-8, as WashU will take their timeout. And what a time to be able to use it. As we step aside with the break, 13-8 here in set number 3. Carnegie Mellon winning over Washington University. And a correction on what was a stat line regarding Carnegie Mellon and Washington University. Back in 2023, Carnegie Mellon had forced a loss on WashU as they took 6th in the standings back then. But New York University wins out for the 2023 championship down in Atlanta, winning over the Emory Eagles. As we're now back, as immediately right off the rip, reaching over the top and shutting off any potential to dig it out. Carnegie Mellon will extend it 14-8. That one to come from Catherine Jackson, I believe, over the middle, but rather that being Juliana McFarland, except this time will be over on the near side. 15-8. Again, in review of the standings as of November 11th of this year, Chicago leading the way with Emory and Washington St. Louis following behind in 2nd and 3rd, with Carnegie Mellon taking the number 4 spot. As burning a hole there, Woodard getting it right by the outstretched arm of Abby Cross. The lead now doubled for Carnegie Mellon, taking it up by 8. Tumala up with the serve. Oyewole trying to get it there, but it's cleanly fished out. Jiang denied at the net. Point over to WashU. Subs rolling on. And stepping away will be Isabel Campy. Taking her place will be Anna Freeman as Buckley serves. Set up by Tumala. Jiang tries to go near side again. Ball will fall out of play. Give another to the Tartans. who have really been grinding it out ever since coming back from the timeout that was called by WashU. A bit closer this time. Again, a solid sequence. And following the timeout, the Tartans had scored 3 times. WashU getting up into double digits now. 17-10. As a service error by Kate Jiang was committed. And what put the score at 17-9 was a kill by Kate Jiang, fed by Nea Tumala, as over on the far side. Deflected up. Buckley sets it. They'll go for that spot again. Cleanly dug up by Jiang after a dive to the left. Jackson to the backside from 1-4 to another as Reed had it and blocked up, the ball ricocheting like it had been thrown against a brick wall. Waiting to be subbed onto the court for Carnegie Mellon, Bryn Shear, who will take over up at the line. Off to the side, both McFarland along with Gavros, except this time she will line one straight in. An immediate resub as she'll come off the court. This whole series has been all Carnegie Mellon. Certainly coming in at the 4 seed. One may not have expected this to be the championship matchup, with some expectation of Emory being in there. But certainly from Bella Woodward, she wants to don a ring, a championship that is well-deserved for Carnegie Mellon and for Washington University at the same time. They've built a historic program in women's volleyball, one of the more reputable programs in the country. Lee gets it over with ease. Buckley sets it up, and a deflection that comes off the fingertips of Kai Herkenrother will elicit a score of 19-12. Especially being down by 7, there still could be a chance to go on a magic run for WashU. Deflected down to the floor. It's kept up at the last second. We'll reset the table for Carnegie Mellon with a fake kept up and alive, dug out by Gavros with the right hand, extended reach. Again from 1-4 to another. Layered down, set up, cross, takes aim, deflection, and Gavros keeps it alive. Jackson with the right hand, it's down and will be just on the outside. They will say there's contact. Certainly not a positive reaction from WashU as Carnegie Mellon gets up to point number 20. As it's over and served from the far corner from Jackson. And a deflection. Sees point number 13 come across for the Bears. Up and over as sliding there was Danny Lee. As Buckley gets it over to Oyewole. Plenty of contact with the net, no call. Near side with a push of the hand from Schlemmer. Oyewole takes aim again, pushing it out in front as Lee cuts off Schlemmer with an opportunity. Oyewole again the intended receiver of sorts. As it's punch over from Jiang, 2 diving to the floor. Good recovery as, again, more contact with the net. They'll go again, and Kraus able to extend both hands to keep it up. Oyewole one more time. Jiang outside, rather Jiang takes the fire, but it is met by Cross. And she'll have to get it back over lightly. Near side as trying to feed, but would have sent this place into pandemonium with a great serve. Kai Hergenrother just couldn't complete the play. And a timeout now called by the other side here. Normally it would have been WashU, but instead Carnegie Mellon has to go over a few things as they're 5 points away from taking the 2025 UAA Women's Volleyball Championship. As we step aside, again, 20-14, our score. Carnegie Mellon back out to defend. They maintain a 6-point lead as Yang will get contact up front that sees this ball sail well behind the line. And over the head of Laird. Point 21 coming in. Carnegie Mellon has not won a UAA Women's Volleyball Championship. Will be the first time in team history. The most recent appearance since 2016. As inching closer with that point are the Tartans. Big smile coming from Juliana McFarland as they know what could be coming up next. Certainly a bit of time for WashU to climb back. But first they'll have to see the serve from Zoe Gavros. Buckley over to the outside. And they'll feed it back over the middle. Good set. And the spike that is just too far in front. As aiming to do damage yet again, Juliana McFarland. Ball will turn back over and set to serve Ellie Laird, the junior out of Dallas, Texas. She takes aim through the back corner, keeps it within bounds. Jiang fires it, but digging it out with control, Ellie Laird. Oyewole over. Setting it up with a left hand and contact again, fingertips. Sees the ball sail on over. Oyewole just couldn't get out of the way in time. Heading off to the bench, both Schlemmer along with Danny Lee. Now Tumala up to serve. She'll get it cleanly over. Buckley feeds Oyewole again, but she's met at the net. And it may all come down to this, the match point for Carnegie Mellon University. Championship potentially in the hands of the woman up to serve. Tumala, set by Buckley. Oyewole denied, she can't handle it, and it's all said and done. The first ever championship for Carnegie Mellon University, taking it 3-0 over Washington University. Can you believe it? Congratulations to the 2025 University Athletic Association champions, the Carnegie Mellon University Tartans. As it was a strong finish, this time in much more convincing fashion. The first two sets, 25-22 in favor of Carnegie Mellon, with this one being a 10-point differential. But what a season coming from both squadrons, and a huge upset for the Tartans. As WashU again coming in at the number 2 seed, and plenty of teammates over to comfort Oyewole. And she had been in the midst of the play, trying to get the ball back over the net, unable to do so. As we will now see the presentation of the conference champion trophy and other festivities here. But again, this championship belongs to Carnegie Mellon. And there it is, raising the hardware, the first ever championship in program history. And what a team to do it against. As from Brandeis University in Waltham, Massachusetts, we conclude the 2025 season for the University Athletic Association. Again, the Carnegie Mellon University Tartans taking it in 3 straight sets over the Washington University Bears. Now the celebration can begin. From all of us here at Brandeis University, my name is Brian Foley. It has been so fun to have you along for the ride over the course of this tournament. And again, your final, 25-15, Carnegie Mellon. Have a great night, everyone.